Oh my gosh, this movie is just crazy. Hey guys, it's Katt Dee, and I'm back with another movie review. I know it's been a couple days, but I am literally super trying really hard to get these 31 movies in the 31 days. So you might see quite a few days that I double up on movies. I have quite a few videos coming out, so please look forward to that. You might see me kind of in the same thing because I am trying to push out some of these recordings that I put off to for a while now. So today I'm going to be reviewing In the Mouth of Madness. So if you guys aren't familiar with In the Mouth of Madness, it is a John Carpenter film from the 1990s. I believe it came out in 1994. And like I said in the beginning, holy crap, this movie is completely crazy. I had no idea that this movie existed. And it starts off like with a bang. I mean, the way that the movie starts off is this investigator, John Trent. You see him being pulled into this insane asylum, screaming, "I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. I'm not insane." And obviously, you know, you hear that a lot in insane asylums, so you really don't know what to expect. Sam Neill actually plays John Trent in this movie, who, if you don't know who he is, he plays in Jurassic Park. He plays in a lot of other things, but he did a really good job in this movie. So I'll try to give you a little bit of the premise. I really can't give you a ton of this movie because the more details I give, the more it'll take away from the movie. I feel like this is one of those movies that you have to go in just expecting nothing. Know that it's a John Carpenter film. If you know John Carpenter, you kind of know what to expect. It kind of falls in line with some of his other movies that he's already written or directed. So the premise is basically this insurance investigator who I just mentioned, John Trent, was asked to try to find so I'll kind of give you the premise from there. So after you see him in the insane asylum, someone asks, okay, how'd you get here? And this is when John Trent, or AKA Sam Neill, goes in to tell you kind of what happened. And so he's about to tell the story of how he ended up in the insane asylum. So basically, John Trent is asked to go find a author that went missing because he's about to publish a new book, and the author is called Sutter Kane. Now, there's a lot of similarities between Sutter Kane and Stephen King, I feel like. I think they even mentioned Stephen King in the film. It kind of like feels like, I mean, that was a dead. Sutter Kane is Stephen King. So Sutter Kane is one of those authors that his books are horrifying, they're graphic, they're over, like, the readers get like completely scared of these books. And I mean, they're horror film. They're like, if you compare them to Stephen King, in my opinion, that's kind of how I got they were comparing Sutter Kane to. They were even saying his books are scarier than Stephen King. So he decides the best way to find Sutter Kane is to start reading these novels he hasn't read before. So as he reads these Sutter Kane novels, he starts to see shit. He starts to go like a little bit wackadoo, in my opinion. And then somehow he figures out a way, I'm not going to tell you, he figures out something that helps him find where Sutter Kane might be. So then he sets off into his journey to find Sutter Kane. So basically, this is the premise of the movie. They're out trying to find this author that's supposed to put out this book. And then a whole bunch of crap happens. So I can't really tell you more than that. I would really be giving away the movie. What I can tell you is I was surprisingly happy with this movie. I mean, it was wackadoodle. Like, it was crazy. Like, I felt like it had a whole bunch of nuances of a whole bunch of different horror movies that I've watched before. Like the idea of not being able to leave a certain place. The use of like colors as visual effects, like changing the complete tone of the visual screen, and you see that throughout the movie. For example, I think they mentioned something along the lines of blue is his favorite color, and then you see a screen where it's all blue, all the lighting is blue. And I mean, I wish I could give you more details than that, but literally, when you're watching this movie, look for those little nuances throughout the film. Now, the visual effects are not amazing. I mean, it is like a really cheesy movie, in my opinion. Like, it is good, though, like in true John Carpenter fashion. If you're a John Carpenter fan, I really feel like you'll enjoy this movie. I think there's only one John Carpenter movie I didn't really like, and I think It was vampires. I think that's the only John Carpenter film I didn't really like. But yeah, so like I said, if you like John Carpenter, I hope you enjoy this one. Like I said, visual effects are not amazing, but I mean, it is what it is. The turns and twists in this story, like literally, you have no idea what's going on sometimes. So yeah, so if I had to rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10 and watchability wise, I think the first time I watch it, I think I would give it a solid 6. Now that sounds like a bad rating, but in reality, it's pretty good, specifically for a John Carpenter film in my opinion. I feel like I've seen the movie before, kind of. I feel like it was like, I felt like it was classic 80s horror that came out in the 90s. I feel like it just missed its like sweet spot. I feel like if this movie had came out like 5 years before or even 6 years before, that it probably would have been more well known if it would have fell into that whole 80s movie genre. Like 1987 was a huge year for horror movies in my opinion. If it came out around that year, I really feel like people would have picked up on it. So yeah, that's my opinion for In the Mouth of Madness. Please let me know what you liked best down below. Please let me know if you would watch this down below. I'm Katt Dee, guys. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.